I'm saying we'll be saying in 2 to 4 years experience. Sir, cannot apply for the job. You know very well that on this job, you need to apply. So that you put in your CV those things that experience they are looking for, and and we are going to talk about that very soon under your work history. I can do a work, but have that will make them to so what we are looking for in terms of less for it's just an opportunity for interview. And that if I can still see some other question. Okay. All right, let me see. I think the rain here is maybe contributing. It's raining right here in Gariki. Sir, can you give us an example of an okay? Since that I've talked about the next. Of course, there are some people that also just immediately after their what do you call it, their name and their contact details, they want, well, we should look at the of a job, you understand, and of course for us in this part of the world, some posi oh, okay, we don't know who is stopping recording and acting it. Solomon, is that you? Um,
Yeah.
because it is actually just okay. Let's go. All right, thank you. So DOB is also quite needed because some organizations also most times have a plan of decision, and that will help them to make a decision. So if you didn't put your gender in situation like that, or your DOB in situation like that, that could cause the interviewer to put aside your resume and feel like you didn't provide him or her enough information to make a decision. Sorry for coming to that. So the same thing with status. There are some positions that also would have said, we are looking for someone who is married. We are looking for someone who is single. You understand? And all that. And they have their reasons. There are positions that they will tell you we need stability. And for some people, definition of stability is a married person. You get it? And then there are some people, they tell you we need people who are available to move. If we need you to quickly go to Lagos and spend 2 weeks and come back, we need people like that. And when situations in a job that has that requirement, most times they always say, okay, we prefer a single person for that role, so that there will be no much family demand not to go or to go. You understand? So, and all that. So that may also be necessary. You understand? I know that one that may not be too necessary may be your state of origin. May not be too necessary. Like some of us are still put it. Your local government area of origin may not be that necessary. I see some of us put your religion. It is absolutely not necessary. You understand? Where you come from, what religion you affiliate with. I don't know how that applies to competence and capacity to deliver. You get it? That may not be necessary. Some of us also goes ahead to add nationality, Nigerian. That's not necessary, except if you are applying for an international job, then that becomes a necessary thing, especially when it is something they need to know your nationality. Is that okay? So my point is, if you need to put your biodata, it's also a very good thing that it comes very much at the very top or front of the document. The next thing is your professional experience. And I want to take this example. This is what some of us also call work experience. It's either you say work experience, or you say work history, or you say professional experience. Anyone is fine. Now, immediately after your name, your contact details, and your objective, if you have some experience, this is the point to put it immediately. Remember, employer or the recruiter is looking for what can convince them to keep looking at the other part of your CV and maybe eventually invite you for an interview. If you have a lot of work experience, and let me emphasize, work experience is not just those professional experience you got after graduation. Some of us even were working or worked before going to school. Some of us were even working while we were picking up a degree. All of them are all work experience. And you have to see how you can reflect it very well. Some of us, your family has a business. And maybe sometimes when you come back from holiday, and when you come back from school for a holiday, you always also play roles in that business. Maybe you were providing some administrative support. Maybe you were part of the sales and marketing. Please, that is also part of your work experience. I emphasize, your work experience does not just mean those professional experiences post-graduation, that is after graduation. That's not what it only means. It means both before graduation and after graduation. That will help some of us who have some of these experiences but never thought of it that way to know that you can actually put this forward. For those of us who are serving, where you are currently doing your national assignment, or those of us who have finished, where you did your national assignment is your work experience. Your national assignment is already a 1-year work experience. It's already a 1-year work experience. And that is why I always will encourage the young graduates who are still in the national assignment to always get engaged wherever they are carrying out their primary assignment. Get engaged, get involved, so that by the time you reflect it in your CV, it can have some flesh. Example, I served at Redford and Sons, Lagos. Maybe I'm still in service and I was an admin assistant. What did you see I reflected? I showed my position, which is the admin assistant, and I showed admin assistant, and I showed the company and the location of the company. And I showed the year that I was employed. If I have resigned, we are going to see it later on. I'm going to indicate when I left the organization. Sorry, I'm trying to stop someone's mic. Okay, I don't know whether I'm still Solomon, if you can hear me. Okay, yeah, the person has muted the mic. Okay, am I still a co-host? All right, I think I'm still. All right, so thank you. So when you are putting your professional experience, these 4 information are needed. Number 1, the role, in this case, administrative assistant. Number 2, the employer and the location of the employer, Redford and Sons, Lagos. That is the second information. Number 3, the year you were employed, and probably if you have exited, the year you exited. Number 4 information is now your job the win right there when you were at Redford and Sons. So you say schedule and coordinate meeting appointment. Oh Lord, can you help us? Those of us, don't allow your mic to come up to reduce noise. Thank you. So you can see, as an administrative assistant at Redford, what was I doing? I listed it in bullet point here. You understand? So schedule and coordinate meetings, appointment, travel arrangement for supervisors and managers, trained 2 administrative assistants during a period of company expansion to ensure attention to details and adhere to company policy. Developed new filing and organizational practices, saving the company 1.8 million per year in contracted labor expenses. Maintained utmost discretion when dealing with sensitive topics. Managed travel and expense report for department team members. So here you're telling us what either your role was and also what you did, your achievement. So we mix it up here. So if in that position you had some achievement, like in this case, it said develop new filing system and organizational practice, saving organize. So that's an achievement. So you can always also reflect it here. So it's a mixture of what I do and what I achieved. So here, number 1 is say schedule, coordinate meetings, and that's like JD. You understand? But number 2 is an achievement. Trained 2 administrative staff assistant during. That's an achievement. You get it? Maintain utmost discretion when dealing with sensitive topics. That's JD. So what you reflect as your responsibilities and achievement under your role is a mixture of your job description and also what you achieved while you were in that position. Not everything you achieve, some key ones that will attract the employer based on what they are looking for is very important. What's the point? If you have worked in 3 places, you need to reflect all of them one by one like this, in order of occurrence. You cannot put 2019 before 2000. You cannot put 2017 before 2019. It is from the most recent to the last. To the list. So if my most recent job offer is 2024, that's the first job role I will put. If after that, the last place I left, I got the job in 2022, that will be the one that will follow. So it is in that chronological order from the recent onto the list of them. That's how you reflect it. Let's see another example of your, okay, look at this. Secretary Bright Sports Limited, Lagos. And then you put some of your JD and some of the achievement, what you achieved while you were in that capacity and other. Remember, everything is targeted at you, getting the employer or the recruiter to give you an invitation. What about education? How do you reflect it? We usually want to reflect our highest degree. So if you have masters, what would have been here is Master of Arts in History. And under it, you put the university and the location. Every university have an official way they reflect their name. You will hear University of Lagos, Akoka. You hear you hear University of Ibadan, Ibadan. You hear Obafemi Awolowo University, Ife. You hear University of Nigeria, Nsukka. You hear Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. You hear Nnamdi Asukwa University, Awka. Every university have a standard way their names are reflected, and that is how it's supposed to be in your CV. I cannot write Nnamdi Asukwa University, Anambra. It's wrong, because that is not how it is reflected. I cannot write University of Lagos, Lagos. No, it is wrong, because the name is University of Lagos, Akoka. You understand? The name is University of Ibadan, Ibadan. And the list goes on. So if you have your bachelor as the highest degree, that's what comes up. Some of us, actually, we want to also reflect our, what do you call it? Our secondary school. If you want to, that's fine. But if I have my master's, if I have my BSc, I may want to save space by not bothering that. Why? Because it is not that you cannot proceed to bachelor's without secondary school. So I may not really want to put that if I'm trying to manage space. If I just have my master, it is known that we don't have record of any human being. If you have anyone, tell me that from secondary school, you went to do masters. I don't know any history like that. So if I put master master of art in history, it's automatically assumed that I already have my degree, my first degree. So if you decide to put education, only this, that is a perfect one. That's the modern way, actually. Wow. I think, Rose, we may need to put you in waiting room. You've been allowing your mic to come up on and off. Thank you. We will not put you for now, but be in charge of your device. If Thank you. So this is a modern way of putting your educational history. But imagine you had your bachelor's degree in history, and then you had your master's degree in international relations. You are applying for a position that has to do a diplomatic position. Obviously, both degrees will be an advantage for you. For the fact that you have a background in history, and also you took a degree, a higher degree with emphasis in international relations, and you are applying for a diplomat position. Those two degrees, two of them, because they are unique selling point. What is the principle in CV? Reflect information you think will sell you well. That is a unique selling point for you. Put it. That's the general rule. The general rule is if you think this information will get you the opportunity, will enhance the opportunity, put it. If you think putting first class, as I put Bachelor of Arts, and I put in bracket, first class. Sorry. And I say first class. You understand? Obviously, this is going to sell me better. Let me read. Yeah. So this is definitely going to sell me far, far better, because they're likely going to say, man, this guy has a first class, especially if I'm applying for some positions that has to do maybe with education, maybe in the university and all that. Putting this will be. So the rule again, any information that you think will be of a plus value, a plus for you in getting that opportunity, put it. What am I saying about education? It is at your discretion to put other lower qualifications in education, like your secondary school, like your primary school. It is at your discretion. Why am I saying so? Because when you put masters, if you put PhD, and the common assumption is you have masters. When you put, there are just few people that actually proceeded to PhD without masters. Just few people I have seen. I think it's only one person I've seen in my entire life, and he used to be my vice chancellor when I was, and all that. So just that one person I've had seen in his profile that it was excellent enough that he proceeded to his doctorate research without having to go through masters again. You understand? But apart from him, I have not seen anybody. So if I put PhD, it's assumed I have masters. If I put masters, it's assumed I have my bachelor. If I put bachelors only, it's assumed that I couldn't have jumped from primary school and then didn't go to secondary school. I just went to a degree. I must have gone through that. But if you chose, I want to put it, this is how you put it. If it is West African examination, West African certificate, you put West African senior secondary certificate, senior secondary school certificate. Some of us normally put it as WASSC. Some people say just senior second. Of course, when you do that, always reflect the school. St. Joseph Boys Secondary School, Surulere. I can just put there Lagos. You understand? So, and of course, I want to put the year. Also, I got this certificate. Maybe that was Remember, you can put only year if you want. It does not necessarily need to have the month. If you're putting month, always look at the month that is in the certificate they gave you and make sure it is correct. That's what you put. Your degree has a month in it. Your other certificate has a month in it. I can also just put 2000 and 2009 is when I got this, so that's fine. So, but remember, these days, if I don't want to put all those because of space. The next thing is your professional trainings attended or courses attended, because this is also where people have issue. All these courses I've attended, where does it come under? Is it under education or is there a section for it? There is another section for it, which is what we can call just professional development. You may not really give it this full name. You can just say professional development. And then, of course, you want to tell us each of those development. It's always good to reflect the program, in this case, project management and professional course, the provider, Dexter and Heroes Consulting Limited, Abuja. Just the same way we talked about the name of universities, always find out how a company represents their name, you understand, so that you can put it properly. Like Dexter and Heroes will always say this symbolic and, not A-N-D, you understand. That is their official, the way government recognizes or register them, you understand. So I also did public speaking and presentation course, maybe at this same place. Maybe you also did something like what do you call it, basic management skills, and you did it at maybe Philip Consult in Lagos, you understand. And there are many other ones. Of course, in career, you keep taking trainings. When your trainings become so much, what you do is that when you're applying for a particular position, you look out for which of the trainings are relevant for this position, and you probably will reflect those ones as well. Now, one of us asked me a question. I don't have much experience. They are seeking plenty of experience, but I have what it takes to do the job. And he said, can I still apply? I say, yes, apply. But when you're applying, please, since you say you have what it takes, it could be by way of you have so much experience or you have training. Maybe you have only like 2 years experience, but within these 2 years, it's even bigger than someone that has up to 5 years experience because of the engagement, how they engage you where you work. You want to project that very well right there in your professional experience or your professional or your work history. You want to put it in details. Another thing that you put very early is the kind of trainings you've gotten. Now, for those of us who are younger graduates who don't have much experience yet, please always make sure that the trainings you've attended always appear at the front page. If your CV is 2 pages, they are always at the front page, because that can again be a unique selling proposal since you don't yet have plenty experience. They can be like, but he has been trained on this area. She has been trained on this. So we can bring her up. I'm sure since I've been trained, it won't be difficult for this person to grab or cash up and all that. So please, those of us who don't have much experience, but you have some trainings, always make sure you reflect it very, very well across at the very first page. Other information can come, additional skills that I have. Why are you using the word additional is because the trainings you've already gotten is makes up list of skills. Because if you say you've done a training on project management, it means you have the skill of managing project. You have the skill of speaking in a public, so you can help us to you can meet our client and defend our proposals, anybody, and tell them what we do. You understand? Those are pluses. So those are skills. So I could go ahead and say additional skills, maybe like in this case, expert in Microsoft Office, but with particular focus on Excel. I speak 2 languages, you understand, Spanish and English. when it comes to web, tech, I'm a tech savvy, and I need little or no experience. I mean, little or no training in any area of tech and web that I don't have previous knowledge on and all that. So it may be more than this, but remember not to populate it with what is not necessary. Only populate it with what is necessary. Let me see whether I have some questions. Can we please include any certification we have in view on our CV? The answer is yes. That this is you have your studying master of arts, and you're not done. You just put in view. You understand? You just put in view. In view always mean that it's in progress. It's already a plus for you that, oh, you have this degree and you're already studying another degree. It's very important. So if it is, for example, maybe you're running currently a course in human, and maybe this opportunity you are applying for human resource management, this opportunity that came up, but you're still undergoing the training, is your certificate is not out, you can also put something like in view. You can put something like this in view. So Joy, the answer is resounding yes. You can always put it in view. My question hasn't been answered. Rose, can you just re-ask the question so that it can come up again? I've gotten my answer. Thank you, Elizabeth. That's the way we go. Please, sir, if assuming I decided to add my O-level result, but the school attended for the year was not the same place I wrote my WAEC examination. So what do you put? Abdulaziz, always look at what is written in your WAEC certificate and let that be. I understand what you mean. I attended a school, but maybe when I was in that school, I didn't pass my O-level. So I went to another school to take my O-level. When your certificate is coming out, tendency are that the name of where you sat the exam is there. So if they wrote the name in that WAEC certificate, please reflect what is in the certificate, so that there can be consistency between what you wrote and what you have. You understand? So that's how it goes. Let me go. If I attended a computer academy and got a diploma in computer application, can it be and include? No, it is not in education. Those are professional. It's not your computer diploma. You went to a computer school, you got a diploma, as we have it. Please, professional development. I have served as an organizational country rep based on appointment. Can this be included as professional? 100%, please. Princess, that's a big one, please. As a organizational country rep is a big professional experience. Don't forget to put it and include your job role and some achievement you did there. Having served as student union leader, such as treasurer or financial secretary, can these be included as professional experience? Who asked this question? That is Princess also. Now, be careful in this case, in the sense that if you're applying for a position that has to do with finance, it can actually be a plus to let them know that while a student, I functioned as not union leader. Don't put union leader. Don't put student union leader. You can put, what do you call it? Let me give an example. What do we call it? What do we call the student, student, is this student, what do we call it? What remind me, is it usually called Student union?
Student union government.
Thank you. You understand? Student union government. Yes, thank you. Thank you. You can mute your mic now. Please don't avoid political languages. Just a moment. Let me plug my laptop. Sorry, my system was giving me a sign. All right, so be careful with political kind of languages. Example is union leader. Some I tell you the truth, organizations don't like that word. You understand? So if you're applying for a position of an accountant, finance person, and you've served as a treasurer or financial secretary, it will be very, very necessary that you want to show them also that, but don't represent it to look like that was a kind of a union leadership kind of thing. Is that okay? So, and if indeed you carried out some good job there, you can also put it there as your experience. Okay. What about experience as a secretary of a car dealership? Dealership stand and make sales. Please, Abdulaziz, that's a very, very good experience. All you need to do is to put it in a professional way. When you write it, all those things you were doing, you understand, make sure you write it in a professional manner to represent you well. Is internship a professional experience? 100%, please, Princess, 100%. Even if it was a 1-month internship, it is an experience. That's why any opportunity you have to work anywhere, get engaged so that when you put it in your CV, it can be a huge one for you. You understand? When they ask you hey, you left too early here, you say, oh, it was just a 1-month internship. In interview, maybe you got an internship of 3 months, you left by the end of March, and they are asking you, why did you resign so soon here? You say, oh, that was just a period of 3-month internship I had with them. That is to be defined when they ask you during interview. But that's a big, what do you call it? Professional experience. Okay, all right, thank you. Let me go back down. Some people ask question. I believe this question has been answered. Okay. What about those that serve as the part? Okay, I think I've answered that. Thank you. I've noticed some people using award in their resume. Is that advisable? All right. Now, it's now left to discretion. Is the award relevant to the position? Yes. If the award is relevant, maybe because of some outstanding performance in the past position you held, your company recognized you, you may also put it there. Example, you may put best, what do you call it? Best staff for 5 consecutive times. That may be an award. It's a good thing. I want to work with someone who has been a best staff for 5 consecutive times. This person must be quite a different human being. So yeah, the second thing that may determine you putting that is if you have space for it. But remember the rule I told you, anything you think will be a plus, put it, find a space for it. If I have been a best staff for the past 5 consecutive years, I will reflect time where everybody will see it. You understand? It's a big thing for any employer that is indeed wanting to look for a new person. Okay, let me go. Can this class be recorded? Okay, because it has been raining here, I couldn't join. Thank you. Many of us answered my question. I think Solomon is recording. Okay, I've been making, okay, all right. the difference between CV. Oh, the difference between CV and resume. If you use any of them at any time, it's not bad because we use it interchangeably. I know there are semantics around it, which for me doesn't hold water. My own opinion, I can say resume to represent a CV. I can say CV to represent a resume. They are one and the same thing. It's a document where you have reflected what you think we make the employer or the recruiter to consider you for a position. So whether you call it your resume or whether you call it your CV, it's fine. How could we put it in professional level? Word of SUG or replace SUG. Okay, so the word SUG or so if you say, okay, president, student union government, I think that's the way you can put it. It's fine. But I'm only saying that it's not in every position you may want to put that. Is that okay? Okay, my question has been answered. Thank you, Rose. Will industrial attachment experience be used 100%? It's like saying internship. Yes. Barnabas, industrial attachment is very much a work experience. I think we're going to have the second part of this lesson, of this training, so that we can which is your, what do you call it, the cover letter, and also some interview issues. So Solomon, I don't know if you are in the meeting. I guess you are in the meeting. So we are going to have the second leg of this capacity development. It's already about 2 hours we have spent together here. Solomon, are you on? If you're on, you can unmute yourself for us to know you're there. So this is we're going to have a second lab, 2 hours. I knew it will go like this. Questions are still going to come up. Please, questions still coming up in this first part we have done. Let's have it, document it. I don't know whether there's a group form for this so that you can put it forward. I'm not going to answer in the group, but I will archive and then answer by the time we have the second lab. I will leave the planning for the second lab of this capacity development for Mr. Solomon to come up and communicate to us the same way he did communication across board. Thank you, everyone. I think we should call it a day now for this part 1 and meet again in part 2. If you observe, I did not include something like hobby. I did not include something like reference. Remember, again, we're looking at how can I put my CV within 1 or 2 pages, especially when I don't yet have an experience. It does not need to go that way. Now, if you want to put your, what do you call it, your reference, your referees, it is fine, but I want you to know that organizations are only bothered about referees when they have employed you. You understand? And that is why you see in modern days, you hear people say referees to be made available on request, because it is when we have given you an offer, that's when we say, okay, can we have your referees? Can we have your guarantors? That's usually what happens. And they will always ask you to provide someone that they can reach out to, because sometimes the one we put in the CV may not really still be up to date and all that. So it is not a mandatory section of the CV. It is also not mandatory that you must put your hobbies and all that. Sometimes those are discussions of interview. There's how a certain interview could go. You say, share your hobby with us, and then you talk about it. Is that okay? So if you put hobby, you're putting it because you have space, and indeed because maybe that hobby those hobbies will play important role for you to get that opportunity. Remember remember the general rule is, if the information is going to project you better for the opportunity, find a space for it. Thank you, everyone. I want us to put on our camera and put on I'll stop sharing. Put on your camera, everyone, if you are in a position to do so. As many of us that can put on our camera, I will appreciate it. Iwe, you're in a very good place. Your lightning is very nice. Thank you. Peace. put on your camera. We want to take a photograph, please. Solomon, I don't know if you're standing by to take the photograph. Even if where you are, the lightning is poor, put on the camera still. Let's take the photograph. Please, every one of us, put on your camera. Thank you. Put on your camera. Abdulaziz, put on your camera. Okay. Yes, he said, I don't have lights. Put it on. It tells us the meeting held in the evening. You understand? So put on, no problem. Just make sure you're dressed up. I can see Edmond is lying down on his bed. That's a good position if that suits you. Solomon, if you can get ready, take this first one. Solomon, are you there? Solomon, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I've taken the first shot. I am taking the second one now.
Okay, you can take the second. Oh, beautiful. Thank you.
Let me have it in grid form. Yes. So
yes.
Okay, beautiful.
Yes.
Just a moment. Let me take now. Yes. I just took another one, and I'm also going to share that. Yes, beautiful.
Oh,
beautiful.
Thank you. Please, every one of us that were in attendance, kindly help us go to the chat box and put your name and your phone number to tell us. Please, to have that statistics, you understand, of those who were in this meeting for reporting purpose. Please just kindly go to the chat box, your full name and phone number, and put it. I said, they are going to share with us thank you. Everyone, don't forget to put in your phone number and your name in the chat box. Let's have them so that we can have it going on.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir. It was really impactful.
Thank you.
Yes, I got a whole lot. Although I was looking towards the second phase, interview questions and how to respond. But since we are going to be having another session, I'll be looking towards that. Although I've also had this discussion with you some time ago, so I have that record for my backup as things were. Then again, I'm also going to be sharing the recordings today with everyone who registered. So ensure to just check your mailbox. You will find it there. So we so far, those who registered were able to join us. Some of them were still finding it difficult. I believe it is part of digital enhancement for some of us who find ourselves here. So we're still going to be taking time to put every one of them who had issues, who have messaged me on how they can actually register on Zoom and add it to their calendar so that when such meeting is about to happen, they can easily be notified and join the meeting as soon as they can. So thank you very much, everyone, for coming in for this employability capacity development. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Please, there's something I want to ask very quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Concerning our presentation and this thing, I've not been able to do mine because I've not gotten laptop. I was about asking if there was the time for us so that those that doesn't have laptop can get and do theirs.
Oh, okay, that's okay. Just leave me a message. Such issue, we just deal with them in isolation, meaning we'll look at various options that are available so that you can take that assessment. So what you can do for me is for you to drop me your a message on WhatsApp, then we can see how we can deal with it.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate it.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you, everyone. So I think the meeting will end now. I think Mr. Ome Amadi has left. Okay, so the meeting will end now. Thank you so much, everyone. So the date for The date for the next session will be communicated via email. So please, from time to time, check your mail. And if time permits, I may also remind us on the WhatsApp group. But for effective sake, for the purpose of what we are learning, we need to be checking our mails. So it is very important that we keep our mind in our mails so that when there are messages like this, we can pick it up from there. So I can guarantee you that what is going to happen is that information will be shared on the mail first. Then before there will not be a backup. So please, we encourage you to keep checking your emails. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.